things that annoyed the hell out of me in this game, and then a couple of things I liked. Let me start with the positive. Kyle Gibson I liked. Kyle Gibson had himself a nice little outing yesterday. Didn't have much of an issue with what Kyle Gibson had to do in that game, just allowing the 2 runs. Robinson Cano had his first RBI as a member of the Padres, which is a little shocking to me, but that's what he had. But watching that game yesterday, I noticed in the 6th inning, you had runners at first and third with 1 out. Weren't able to play anybody. I noticed in that 8th inning, you had runners at first and third with 1 out. Weren't able to play anybody. And I noticed you got some runners on the base there in the 9th inning, and you weren't able to get a lot done. 3rd inning of this game, you had the leadoff runner on base with Garrett Stubbs having a nice little do you call it a drag bunt if it was just popped up in the air? No? Well, whatever it was, he had that running bunt you can do out of the batter's box there, and he popped it up in the air. It felt like it hung in the air for about 5 seconds. Comes down. He's able to get the first. They weren't able to make the play on it. The Padres weren't able to make the play on it. He's the leadoff runner in the 3rd inning on base, and weren't able to bring him around. Castellanos had a couple opportunities there to give the Phillies at least a run, or maybe even tie things up for them, especially later in the ball game. Wasn't able to do it. He got outshined yesterday, by his son Liam. And if you didn't see this, I think it was in the 7th inning, maybe the 8th inning of the game yesterday. There's a pop-up into the stands, the foul ball, and this older gentleman wearing a very nice fedora was able to field the ball, and he sees, I don't think he knows it at the time, he sees Liam Castellanos, Nick Castellanos' son, in the crowd, and I think he was thinking, oh, let me give this ball to a young man. Let me give this ball to a kid, a young man, young lady, whatever. And let me give this ball to a kid. He sees Liam. He says, hey, here you go. Let me give you the ball. The kid's, Liam's like, dude, my dad's Nick Castellanos. I get all the memorabilia in the world I want. Very nice of you, but give it to this kid down here in front. And the older gentleman in the fedora is like, no, you take this. This should be your ball. And Liam Castellanos is like, dude, you don't get it. Is how I imagine this conversation going. So the older gentleman gives the ball to Liam Castellanos, who then gives it to the other young fan out there at Citizens Bank Park. And I thought that was the coolest thing. 2 great things happened yesterday in the stands. The stands were outshining what was going on in the field. Bryce Harper, and this gentleman, I believe, plays at Clemson, plays football at Clemson. He's got a Phillies hat on in the stands. And he starts chopping it up with Bryce Harper from the dugout, who was out of the lineup again yesterday because of the elbow injury. And they start talking. They still go back and forth. Bryce Harper's like, hey, I like your hat. And the fan's like, hey, I like your hat. Bryce Harper exchanges hats with the fan in the front row at the Phillies game, and he's kind enough to sign his own hat before handing it over. The fan then gives the hat to Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper gives his hat to the fan. They exchange hats at the game. I saw a lot of people joking about, how about exchanging elbows? Yeah, that'd be nice, but that ain't going to happen. But it's a very giving, beautiful moment. And if you're not creating that many beautiful moments during the season, this is, create what you can, whether that be the son of a ball player in the stands or that be a player in the dugout exchanging hats with a fan. Beautiful. Keep those. We've been talking all week about good vibes from the Phillies coming off that road trip. You lose 2 or 3 to the Padres coming back from that road trip in 2 of those games. This stellar offense gets shut out. Let's create all the positive vibes we can if you're not going to, create them on the diamond itself. So there you go. It was a rough one for the Phillies bats yesterday. A couple of different instances. Now, Kyle Gibson, despite pitching well, does take the loss, unfortunately. Again, it was a 2-0 loss at the hands of the San Diego Padres. Kyle Gibson went 5 2/3, 8 hits, scattered 8 hits, struck out 7, and both runs were earned. Phillies now back in action right away tonight as they take on the LA Dodgers for a 3-game set. 7:05 start time tonight. That game will be on ESPN Plus, and on the hill, Ranger Suarez gets the start against Julio Urias. So we'll see how that goes. A lefty versus matchup for the Phillies tonight. Still no official word on when Bryce Harper will be making his return, but man, this lineup needs him. I believe it was Kyle Gibson was asked after the game about whether or not he feels anybody on this team is pressing. Like they got to make up for the NL MVP not being in the lineup, and a guy that hit 3 consecutive home runs in 3 straight games, whether or not they're pressing to try to make up for that bat in the lineup. You look around the clubhouse, according to Kyle Gibson, it doesn't seem like anybody is. But you look at the fact that they've been shut out twice in 3 games, that's a possibility.